Hello everyone, it's Ben from the here to give you a brand new video today, and it is to talk about Penguin Lessons. This is directed by Peter Catania, who was nominated for Best Director for Full Monty, well not Best Director, but new director for Full Monty, and he's done Military Wives and as well as a little bit of TV work. This is about a memoir written by Tom Michel about his experience in teaching in Argentina during a civil coup. He is tasked to go to St George's to teach English, and Tom Michel is played by Steve Coogan. We have Jonathan Pryce, as we know from The Crown and Tomorrow Never Dies, and he is also in Pirates of the Caribbean. He plays Headmaster Buckle, who is a well-meaning but sort of headmastery type person. He's well-meaning, wants to be liked, but he's just got this way about him. And he also befriends the science teacher, starring Bjorn Stefan, I can't really pronounce that, who is a science teacher called Tapo, and when Civil War breaks out, they end up going to Uruguay for a week to get away from it all, and Tom Michel meets somebody called Maria, who is played by Vivienne Al-Jabbar, who then they walk along the beach after having a night out, and they find an oil slick filled with dead penguins, apart from this one. And to get in a good book, as men do, he is coerced into rescuing this penguin, and it's quite funny because he tries to get rid of the penguin, but people in Uruguay won't let him. They won't let him let the penguin go, but they won't let it into the country of Argentina. It's kind of a comedy thing that starts off this love-hate relationship with this penguin. It is quite a sweet movie, but it doesn't drag. It's an hour and 50 minutes. The political intrigue is good. Apparently, according to Tom Michel, the actual writer of the memoir, they did create a backstory that was, in his own words, in an interview I saw, in his own words, more interesting than his. So the backstory isn't real, but the penguin stuff is. And he said it wasn't always a real penguin, they used animatronics, so they make it as real as possible. So, it's a very heartwarming movie. Tom Michel obviously doesn't mind that they use the backstory. They wanted the penguin bit, but they said, I'm sorry, but your backstory isn't interesting enough to hold a movie, but can we create something? And he said, yes. The penguin stuff is real. Tom Michel actually uses the penguin to gain the kids' trust because they're messing about as kids do, and they all build a friendship, and he learns to open up, Tom Michel, because of this penguin, to people in his life, and he lets people in that he's keeping a penguin. And yeah, it's a funny, heartwarming movie. If you like animal films like Dog's Purpose and other films like that, then this film is a good film. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a kids' film, because I just wouldn't. I would say it's not a 15, but I wouldn't say it's a 12A, but I wouldn't say you take a 7-year-old. You might take maybe a 10 or 11-year-old, but I wouldn't take anyone younger than that. Because I just don't think they would enjoy it. There's nothing that I would say, oh my God, it's bad, you see worse stuff, but I just don't think anything younger than a 10-year-old would enjoy this. It's well acted by Steve Coogan. The story arc from beginning to end has a proper arc. It doesn't drag. The art direction's good. The animatronics for the penguin are top notch. Even my carer thought it was a real penguin, but apparently it wasn't. So it fooled him. So that's good. The film has done its job. The Writer with the memoir didn't mind they made up a backstory for him to make himself more interesting. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Will it make my top 10 at the end of the year, top 5? Who knows? But it's a pretty good movie, I have to say. So if you like my review, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.